I have an exciting video today, something I have been looking forward to doing. It's kind of came out of nowhere, honestly. So there's one clone house that I had been wanting to do a review on. I had several people on, my YouTube channel ask me if I would do a review of them. How does it compare to certain offerings by this company? And I had not tried it. I had heard about them. You know, there's not a specific reason why I didn't try them. There's just so many clone houses, and I honestly just hadn't gotten around to it. But the owner had seen my channel. He said he appreciated, my honesty in the videos and honest feedback, and was wondering if I would be willing to review some of his offerings and give my honest opinion on them. I told him absolutely. 100%. I'm there for that as long as I can be honest with the community. I'm all for it. Absolutely. So anyway, the company is Scentual Obsessions, and the owner Kevin, great guy. He was very, very easy to work with. Like I said, he just sent these out of sent them to me for free. Just asking me to give my honest opinion. So I appreciate that. He let me pick, several offerings to make a sample pack from their site. He sent them to me. Got here very quickly. I chose ones that I was more familiar with because I wanted to be able to give you guys, again, honest opinion on how they stack up to similar offerings from other houses, what I think of the house in general. And I can't do that if I'm trying something for the first time. What I mean is if I've tried a clone of something I've never tried the original of, or I haven't had any of the clone houses versions of, I can't really give you that input. I can tell you if it smells good. I can tell you if I like it, but I can't say how it compares or how it, performs as an actual clone of whatever it is a clone of. So, that being said, they sent me a sample pack, this cool box, a golden box. Presentation is actually pretty cool. So inside the box, this little card telling you kind of about the company. I think that's really neat as well, personally. Then you get a bag. Inside the bag is the actual decant. So packaging is great. It looks good, presentation, but also there's cotton in there. It's safe. It's inside a bag, so they're not rolling around. The box was packed with packing peanuts. And then the little decants look like this. There's red tape to make sure they don't leak. I think that's cool. There's a little label with the name of their, the name that they call the inspiration, and I assume they date that it was either poured or made. I got, I believe, 5 or 6 of these. 6 in a sample pack. Pretty cheap, actually, for the sample pack. Can't remember what it ran, but it was pretty damn affordable. I didn't pay for this, but if you were to. So I got that, and he also sent me a full, or 30 ml for free of a fragrance as well. And they come in these really neat bottles. I will say this is one of my favorite bottles of a clone house. See that really cool decal on there with the gold? I believe these are the newer ones he's going to have. He's got newer bottles made. And it looks great. But these glass bottles in general, they're thick, they're heavy, they look nice. Honestly, I said I prefer this to, maybe with the exception of genre and Alexandria fragrances, maybe. These are my favorite of the clone house as far as the bottles go. So, yeah, I was blown away by that. I really like that. But as far as the scent goes itself, which you all came here for, the first one I got is called the Greek Hero. And this is an inspired by version of Herod. Now, something I want to tell you about, these are all new. So he wanted me to try his new formulations. He reformulated a lot of his fragrances, and he wanted me to give my honest opinion on the newest formulations. So these will be, if you order from the site, you'll be getting these. These are the new ones now. So if you've tried something in the past, it's probably different than these. This one's Herod. Fumes de Marley Herod. Smells great. It smells like Herod. You spray it, I can smell it from here. I mean, it's still in the air, obviously, but it projects very well. Harry does in general, regardless of the inspiration, but this one smells very close to the real thing. It smells very close to Dua's version as well. Judea Attar. They both, because the Dappers is great, smells great. My fiance loves it, but it has a more amped up vanilla note. And the opening of Dappers also has this weird kind of grape smell to it. Though the dry down it goes away, but because of that, it kind of does its own thing. It doesn't smell one to one. Judea Attar by Dua, and this smell nearly dead on Parfums de Marley Harry. Again, that's not a knock on Dapper. Like I said, I like it. My fiance actually prefers it over the real one, but it isn't as close as these are. Oh, it smells so good. I love Harry. This one, he hit out of the park, 100%. If you're looking for a good Harry inspiration, this one will do it. Performance is great. Projection is great. I sprayed it, let it sit overnight. Still smell it very strong off the paper the next day. Gives it kind of that stain. It's another thing with these, since they are concentrated, which is great. Make sure you're not spraying it real close up on your clothes. It will stain dress shirts. It'll stain white shirts, definitely. So the next one is Three Rivers. This is their version of PDM. Again, I got PDM because I'm very familiar with PDMs, and I love the line. This one is their Carlisle. Okay, so unlike the other one, this smells very similar to Dapper's. What I mean by that, unless like, say, Dua's Cumbria. What I mean by that is Dapper's Carlisle takes a different approach. It's not a one-to-one. It is more spicy, more masculine, more in your face, harsher than the real deal. It's not as, so the real Carlisle and even Dua's Cumbria, which also is not a one-to-one, but it's pretty damn close, has more vanilla. It's smoother. It's not as in your face, as harsh. This smells more of like kind of an explosion of spices. It resembles Carlisle, really does, but it goes the same path, like I said, the same way that Dua's does. It's not a one-to-one. It smells good. It does, especially if you're someone who wants a more masculine kind of take on Carlisle. Loves that tobacco note. This is good, but it's not a one-to-one. So, like I said, I'm going to be honest with you all, but it is good. Next up is Crashing Waters. This is their version of Pacific Rock Moss, which is one of my favorite fragrances recently. I've really come to love this. It's that aquatic, blue fragrance, but it's just got something extra. That moss note sounds very off-putting. That's why I waited so long to try it. But man, it works so well. It's like a sweet, aquatic, just kind of just what YSL does, where it's sweet blue fragrance, aquatic notes, but it like that sweetness makes you want to keep smelling it. This does that as well, but the moss really adds a different take to it. It makes it smell just like higher end, more expensive, just so unique. I love Pacific Rock Moss. This smells very close to the real thing. It differs from Dapper's. If you smell them close side by side, which I did, this does smell slightly different than Dapper's. But they both smell great. Dapper's smells, for lack of a better word, like it has more depth to it. Like there's more going on with it, which can be good or bad depending on who you are. I love them both. I really do. I'm such a fan of this fragrance. I think they both did it very well. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't knock it. Like I said, I've been blown away so far by everything I've tried from this company, and I'm certainly glad I had an opportunity to try it. The next one's Heaven. This is their Roja Elysium Blue Bottle. You smell the vetiver and the grapefruit and everything. This is good. Yeah, it smells like Elysium. It smells great. Now it does suffer from the same thing that you get with even you do a. I know people say I got 12 hours off of Supernova, or people with Alexandria. Zion lasted me 8 hours. Doesn't, at least not on me. Maybe some people, but it does last longer than the real thing. 4 or 5 hours you can get off of it, which is more than enough. I mean, some of the people just want crazy projection out of fragrances that aren't meant to project like that. You can only do so much with the ingredients you have. You can up the concentration, but at some point, it's just not going to perform the same as a heavier gourmand scent or a scent that's got tobacco or notes that just kind of project and last. The lighter, crisp, fresher fragrances don't tend to do that. But anyway, it does last longer than Roja Elysium. It lasts longer, than the real one, obviously. But it's in similar line with Zion and Supernova. The vetiver smells slightly more amped up in this than the real one. I prefer that. It reminds me of Utopia from Genre. That's got the same thing kind of going on. The vetiver is more prominent. I actually really like that. Utopia is actually one of my fiance's favorite fragrances. So this is a good pickup. Heaven is great if you love Roja Elysium. Next up is Royal Obsession. This is another PDM. Probably guess which one. Had to get this. So this one is late. It's got the methylated note. I know you guys tease me about it. It's got that. And man, it hits it. It's good. It's not. So I know a lot of people don't like the methylated note. And Alexandria's got a very prominent one. It's kind of in your face. Very, very obvious it's there. This one, it's there, but it's kind of toned down. And I think it's going to be more mass appealing. A lot of people are going to like that more. I honestly kind of like this more than Alexandria's opening. Because I like the methylated note. But this isn't as harsh. It smells damn good, though. Damn close. This, I will say, is one of the better clones of Leighton. I don't have them all here to compare them. Fortunately, I didn't have this when we had the comparison video. But I will say I recently tested Montage, their version. This is definitely better than that. This is definitely better than Squirt's version. This is definitely better than, well, it would be up there with the better ones. I'd put this up there with Royal Equestrian. Like I said, I prefer the opening of this. And Royal Cherry Tartar from Dua. It's good. It honestly kind of reminds me of Refuge from Genre, because Refuge also has that methylated opening, but it's not as prominent. The only difference is in this, the dry down doesn't fade as much. Refuge is good, but I feel like this is just kind of maintains the entire scent throughout the dry down. Whereas Refuge kind of, a lot of that can get lost. Obviously it matters depends on your skin chemistry and everything else. Everybody's different. I do like Refuge, so don't get me wrong. Honestly, I think a lot of the clone houses do a fantastic job with Leighton. I will do a comparison of this, though, at some point with Monarch. Do another review. I won't make it as long, obviously, but just kind of a follow-up on where I think my favorite of the clone houses are on Leighton now that I've tried almost all of them. Anyway, this is getting long. This next one is Two Kings. This is a combination of Aventus and Not Sauvage Elysium. So I like this a lot, because to me this is unique. A lot of clone houses do Aventus and Sauvage, as you could tell on my other video, and it's great. But Aventus and Elysium is unique, and it just works so well together. Because Elysium is such a good fragrance, but it's not. It's just kind of, I don't want to say softer, but it's not obnoxious. It's not overpowering. It kind of is on the lighter side. It kind of sits in the background. It smells very good. I love it personally. But it's just, it mixes well for that reason. And man, this works. You know, you take Elysium, which already smells good, but it just gives it something else. You know, the Aventus really kind of amps it up. Now, I will say I did notice the only downside of this is I like this a lot. Like I said, the grapefruit mixes very well with the pineapple lemony, you know, citrus opening of Aventus. They work well together. The vetiver mixes very well with the, you know, that smoky vanilla dry down of Aventus. But the one problem I have with this is the performance and projection weren't there. It projects, performs, okay. So that would be the one thing I would ask, you know, obviously if they were to change this at all, would be to just try to amp those up if it's even possible. You know, Sauvage is a louder fragrance, so obviously those combos, it performs projects better than Elysium and Aventus. Elysium already kind of doesn't project that well, and then you mix it with Aventus, which should amp it up a little more, but it just, for whatever reason, on my skin wasn't. So that was my one complaint about that. But it does smell good. It smells great, you know. And maybe just get a sample, see how it performs on your skin. So everybody's different. Last one is the big bottle. This is, what's the name of this one? Noble Woods, and this is I believe Tom Ford's. How am I blanking on it? Wood. Or no, this is Oud for Greatness. The opening of this, to me, did not smell that good. It didn't smell bad. It smells very clean, bright. You certainly can smell the woods. It's very fresh with that kind of woody, you know, woods in the background, brightness up front, very clean smelling scent. But the dry down, which it's not there yet, but I just know from wearing this when I was testing it, it's fantastic. The dry down smells very good. You know, that some of that cleaner opening, it smells very clean, a sterile kind of smell in the opening, almost like a hospital kind of smell. That gets toned down, and it becomes this very just not overly masculine. It's definitely kind of unisex, but just unique, non-offensive. You know, just great smell. You know, it smells good. It smells good, and it doesn't smell like a whole lot of other stuff out there. Let it get a little time to cool down or to dry down. But yeah, it's in the opening. It just feels very sterile. Now, for what it's worth, I have not tried the original of this. So I don't know how it smells. You know, I don't know how this compares. All I can say is this smells good. Performance is good too. Now, I will say this is their version, older formulation. This is one of the only ones that wasn't from the new line. The rest were from the new line, the new formulations. I don't know. Again, this smells good to me. I would imagine the reformulation is probably going to smell even better. But as a line, and like I said, these I was blown away by all of these. I really was. Especially after having a very disappointing time with another Clone House. If you were watching my other videos, I was impressed. The pricing is very reasonable too. 30 ml, I think, is $35. They got different lines as well. You know, like most Clone Houses do, and they amp up the price depending on which line you're buying from. But so I think maybe the you know, the normal line is probably like $30, and then a 50 is looking at 55 to 60 or something for 50 ml. But smells great. Like I said, that is the Aventus Elysium scent. Smells fantastic. It's just Elysium. Ooh, Herod, performing great. Rock Moss. Carlisle, still very harsh. Oh, and then Leighton. So they all smell great. They really do. Kevin, I thank you, sir. Thank you. I will certainly be ordering from you in the future. Um, like I said, I was impressed, and you have some unique offerings, which is great too. I think your presentation's great. The new bottle's fantastic. You're certainly going the right route, sir. So thanks for everything, and I appreciate you sending these to me to do a review on them. I really do. I think, especially with you knowing I was going to be honest, that shows that you're confident in your company, which you have every reason to be. Yeah, so it's starting to dry down. You're getting that. Sorry. It smells just really good. Sterileness kind of goes away, and it just smells clean, crisp, woody, masculine, but not like in your face. It would be honestly, I think it could be a good office scent, everyday scent. I think it'd be safe to wear on most occasions because of that. Anyway, like I said, it's just getting long, but thank you, sir. I appreciate this. If anybody has any other questions, let me know. I'm sure, be doing reviews of this line in the future. So I'll sure to post those when I get them. If you have any other requests, just let me know. I'd be happy to do those.